content before, you probably already know that I'm a big proponent of doing researching and finding hot topics and doing what is popular. In fact, I've actually built a whole practice and courses all around this topic. However, there are times where doing what everybody else is doing, the popular stuff, and focusing on that is not the right thing to be doing when it comes to content creation and content marketing. So I have a great story I'm going to share with you today that is a perfect example of this. But before we dive into that, I want to just give you a little background, introduce myself for those of you who do not know me. I am Kristen Poborsky, and I help coaches and healers and entrepreneurs dial in their content creation and create content that helps them grow their practices. Now, I was a struggling virtual assistant way back in 2014, and I was at the beck and call of my clients. It was driving me crazy. So much so that way back then, I was on a vacation with my family in Palm Springs, and everybody else was out by the pool enjoying this gorgeous vacation. And what was I doing? I was inside working. I wasn't able to get away from my clients. I was at their beck and call every single day. I had something different to do every time I opened up my inbox. So I was really sick and tired of that after that vacation, as you can imagine. I actually even had a client fire me because I went on vacation, even though they knew I was on vacation and wasn't going to be able to help them right away. So that really led me to a decision that I needed to make, because I could no longer go on like that in my business, for my health, for my family, all of that. And it was that point where I really thought about, what can I do that's going to help my clients grow their businesses and be seen and heard and attract a wider audience. And what, after hours and hours of really just sitting down and thinking, what do they need help with? I discovered the power of content creation. I discovered a unique way to create content that is popular with their audiences and grew them and got them traffic and all of that. And fortunately for me, I tested this all out on myself and it worked splendidly. But for the client that I'm going to actually share his story today, Todd Krieger, it was amazing what it has done and continues to do today for his therapy practice. He researched the hot topics, which has now morphed into my program, The Right Content at the Right Time. We created at least 3-4 months worth of content, and what we saw was amazing. The first month, we doubled his traffic. And then the next month, it doubled again. And then by month 4, it was quadrupled. And today, his content is still resonating. It is getting him clients from all over the world. He has a waiting list of people to work with him. Even during the pandemic, he did not have a downturn. And we kept creating content. So let me just kind of dive into his story, because it's kind of interesting, because he's had so much success with content, his content creation. It's helped him revive his list, actually grow his list, which was stagnant, to I think over 6,000 people. And it has helped him add money to his bottom line. He's taken his rates up to, 3 times what they were when I first met him. So all these great things. And again, he has a list of people wanting to work with him because he's so busy. He can't stay. He doesn't have room for everybody all at once. So here's his story. We've been talking over the last few weeks because he's a therapist, and we talk about sensitive subjects. Sometimes we talk about sex, we talk about infidelity and things like that. Well, some of the social media platforms are now cracking down on this. He recently got kicked off of Twitter and he got kicked off of LinkedIn, not because his content is offensive or anything like that. We're just giving out content that is helps people. Sometimes he'll talk about pornography, things like that, but nothing specific about pornography, more about like how pornography can destroy a relationship, things like that. So he got kicked off of these two platforms, which actually kind of led us down the road of, well, do we really care? And, here's a good example. We got some traffic off of those, but we don't really care that he got kicked off. We're actually not going to go back on those platforms because they're not really working for him, right? The other thing that's kind of interesting is, how everybody is so into TikTok and Instagram and all of that. Well, here's the deal. He is not getting traction on Instagram that much. He's certainly not on TikTok. You won't see me on TikTok probably myself. I mean, something would really have to drastically change for me to do that. But here's the point. Where he is getting traction and has continued to get traction is in video content. His video content has exploded his audience, and it's done really well. Anytime we share it out on Facebook, most interestingly is on Pinterest and YouTube. He's got a video that's almost at 600,000 viewers. He's getting people coming to him from that. Also, we have taken his content and repurposed it across to a podcast. All of that video content, even the old stuff, and that has gotten us traction as well. So my point here is that he doesn't worry about his social media because we do post the same content in all these places. We have it automated, but what we focus on is really what's working so that we can grow and scale his audience. And that's one of the things that I teach inside of my program, Smart, Simple Content Marketing and Automation, is once you build this bank of content, you definitely need to go ahead and start tracking your content, seeing what's working, seeing where it's working, because we get so focused on the platforms such as TikTok or Instagram. Why am I only getting 5 likes? Why am I not getting this engagement? Why am I not getting that engagement? And we're not really looking at what's working and where it's working and going and focusing on those things right there. So what I would love you to take away from this is to take a look at all the platforms that you're on. Now, I wouldn't say you need to get off all the platforms. I think it's still okay to be there. But what I want you to do, instead of focusing on what everybody else is doing, I want you to focus on what is working for you. And I've actually seen this happen for my students in Smart, Simple Content Marketing and Automation. I have a woman in there and she was like, I love Instagram. Everybody always wants to go to Instagram, but what she discovered is that wasn't where her audience was. They were on Facebook. So you really do need to be on multiple platforms, but don't focus on the one that everybody is telling you is the one. Focus on where you're getting results and doing more of that. So it's not about doing what all the popular stuff is. It's doing what works for you. So I want you to take that away from today's video, today's content. And if you are looking for some help And if you're ready to start creating content that builds your audience and stop getting swept up in what everybody else is doing, I've got a free webinar coming up where I'm going to teach you how to create profitable content that builds your audience, attracts leads, and turns them into customers. And I've got the link right down below so that you can sign up and join me for this very informative webinar. But again, I want to leave you with today's takeaway is don't think that you need to do what everybody else is doing. You need to look at what the numbers are telling you is what's working for you. And you might be surprised that it's not telling you to do what everybody else is doing. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'd love it if this helped you, if you left a comment below, a review, feedback, and if you shared this content with other people that might need it.